You have a special message for your mom?
Happy retirement. Very proud of you. You did a great job.
Mikey, anything special to say? Nothing? You say something, Nana?
28 years. Yay. Start off with Nancy introducing her family to everybody. Okay. I don't have loud voices. All right. My husband came out here. You know that he suffered a lot of pain. This was a really bad day. He's here in spirit. I brought him. Y'all know him for years. Anyway, he hated not being here. Then I had two sons here, David, and the four young people over here. Our kids, Miss Lainey, Carly, Seth, and Jason. This is Wes. Don't sit next to me. Relax. Okay, face your back. This is Michael. So these are our 6 grandchildren in Atlanta. We have a youngest son in South Carolina. And he has 2 children and they have 2 children. So we are grandparents and great-grandparents. So, and he's retiring on the same day I am. Yes. Can you believe that? Anyway, I'm glad that they're here and I'm very happy to have them with me. That's the end of mine right now, right? Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there.
Next, we're going to have Joe Porter, who's been Nancy's boss against husband.
Since spring of 2010, is that right?
Okay, so 2.5 years, and he's going to make some presentation.
So I get the honor to present Nancy with all her awards and stuff. And one here she gets is the letter from the governor. Now normally it will start out like to Mr. Porto, to Ms. Pace. This one says, Dear Nancy.
See, I know him so well.
No, it doesn't. But here is the letter from the governor. Thanking you for 28 years of faithful service to the state of Georgia. That's a really nice thing.
Hey, Joe. Sat beside her and take a picture.
Somebody's taking pictures, right?
Daddy?
There's another Joe.
Right here.
Mom?
Okay. Next.
Joe's on the same way.
Hang on.
Also wanted to have a flag, and she chose to have the state of Georgia flag. So it's in this box, I promise you. And this flag was officially flown in front of on the Capitol on December 10th. No.
It was flown over the Capitol.
It was flown over, and I'm told this is the truth.
They run them up and down the pole.
Fly it in your front yard. Or off your porch.
They really do. I bet. Happen all the time.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Is there anything else you would like to say? How was your work? No, you got we gotta go back to the office, Joe.
I told him before we got here that this is not a road.
That's it.
This is a retirement.
And I do have a few things to say.
Should I sit down? Because when he says he has a few things to say,
Because Nancy and I collaborated on this, and I thought I would give everyone a full idea of Nancy's tenure with the state. A little history of when she started and where she worked. So Nancy began her career as a 7th grade teacher right out of college. She spent 2 years teaching social studies and science. At that point, she left the state's employ to raise her family. Well, these guys.
and I raised them.
There are a bunch of them here.
No, just these.
In 1987, Nancy returned to the state working under a temporary 90-day appointment for the DOAS in their telecommunications department. In '88, upon completion of the 90-day appointment, she worked for the Department of Agriculture for a few weeks on the Farmers Markets Bulletin. However, she didn't like that position. And Nancy returned to DOAS soon thereafter to work in support of the DOAS telecom vendor billing. Her main function was to resolve vendor telephone billing problems. Ultimately, Nancy moved into the AP department, where she improved and made it.
I know, people are laughing.
All right. Nancy moved over to GTA in the early 2000s, continuing her support of telecom vendor billings until the state's technology outsourcing event, which was 2009. About 2009.
No, it was in 2000.
Her next assignment was to get involved in customer collections, which is where she has been working since 2009, up until now, her retirement. Through the years, Nancy, like many other state employees, worked for a multitude of managers. And here are some of her managers. Bill McAllister, Joyce Porterfield, who was right here, Nancy Parrott, one and only Gail Middlebrooks, which we all remember very well, Don Barzak, Alice Scruggs, Denise Pace, Tanya Diaz, right here, and lastly, Joe Porter. So that's a history of Nancy's career with the state of Georgia. A brief history. I'm sure Nancy might want to embellish a bit. But I have a little history with Nancy.
He didn't tell me about this part.
And I thought I would add this. Well, I met Nancy in the early 2000s when I started with the state. I didn't meet her right up front the first few weeks. That was, we met Tanya and I met Joyce, Gail. But I did get to meet her after a while. So I've known her for almost the whole 13 years that I've been with the state. I was involved with the implementation of prison telecom billing system. Billing our customers, Nancy was involved with payment of telecom providers. Two very separate functions. Our paths crossed sometimes. I remember being in a meeting with you at ASA and review these problems. Our paths crossed sometimes as we billed for phone lines and LD charges at that time, and the same vendors Nancy was paying for. With the beginning of the statewide outsourcing event in 2009, a need arose for a focus on customer collections. GTA had gone to a new method of billing and a new billing system, which resulted in much customer confusion with their telecom and computer services invoices. Additionally, there were less vendors to deal with, so Nancy was moved to the collections area. She was swamped with many customers and past due invoices. In May of 2010, I took over as manager of the collections unit, and a terrific partnership was formed. We got a grip on which customers had the worst and most issues, and went after them one by one. We focused on the gets accounts, which started to show up in GTA's financial. I had 11 of the gets accounts customers. Nancy had 2, but the 2 she had were like 20. Because she had the governor's office and DBHDD. In May of 2011, we hired Mia Hodges, who, by the way, orchestrated this whole thing. And our collection team was fully staffed and complete. I'm going to miss Nancy because she was very tenacious in her collection efforts. She could handle the complex accounts, and she was very easy to work with. Additionally, for those of us that know us, for those of us that know her, she's never at a loss of words. She's usually in good spirits, almost always has a smile, cares about people, is a very religious person. Basically, Nancy is a good Christian Southern lady. I'm spoken out.
Well, thank you, Joe. Now we're going to ask the other Joe, Joe Webb, the director of GTA, to say a few words.
Hey, Dan.
All right, so first and foremost, 28 years, pretty awesome feat. I probably will have to work 50 years until I die to retire, because there will be no such thing as retirement by the time I get there. I've only had the pleasure of working with Nancy for about the last 5 years, but I know that they've accomplished a lot of pretty amazing things with the new billing system and the challenges that we've had, and so I appreciate everything that Nancy has done for us. And to sum up what Joe mentioned, he told you about her career and all the challenges and the different agencies and the different bosses that she had. So we finally figured out that after 28 years, it took working for Joe to run her off.
I'll get the rest of you
what it was. But at any rate, it's hard to replace the knowledge and talent of somebody who's been around for 28 years. Appreciate the job that you've done. Be some big shoes to fill. There's still a lot of work to be done as we move forward. But I do want to wish you the best in your retirement, and hope you find something you like to do to keep yourself occupied and stay away from the state. So, but anyway, thanks a lot, and again, I appreciate your service and wish you all the best. Wish I could be here the whole time, but
Denise Pace, Director of Accounting, has a few words.
Okay, so I'm not going to read from anything I don't have a book.
Come over here, you better get what I can.
front and center.
But anyway, so Nancy, I appreciate all the work you've done. I think we started really working. I've known you since the early 2000s. We really started working together in 2005, 2006, when you were at the working around us. So you've been here for 8 years, and we've kind of worked together. Was always the speed. I remember when you were doing all the EMS, and they were trying to convert everything off of paper. Anytime I had any questions, even up to, I don't guess I bothered you in the last 6 months or so. I would still come to you about all the old telecom things that would come up, so you had such a knowledge. I appreciate what all you've done with elections and the complex accounts that you've worked on. I'm going to miss you. A lot of knowledge. I wish you well.
It's all on you, Nancy. It's all on you.
Now, how much time do you have? No, I just want to thank you all for coming. I'm sitting here and I think, how many people are here? And it actually came. But I also got to think about something else. You know that movie about the baseball? They say if you build it, they'll come. Well, I'm a Baptist. And I think there are quite a few in here that might be Baptist. And if you're not, we've rubbed off on you. Because whenever Baptists meet, they eat. So I thought, are they here for the food? So anyway, I'm just glad that you could come. And yeah, it's been an experience. It's really been a learning thing all the time, because that's what I think I'll miss a lot, is that I learn something every day. And they talked about how we over the years, things have changed so much, you know, and now, where some things may be harder, a lot of things are a lot easier. We'll talk about paying telephone bills. Over here is Kelly Morgan. I used to work with her directly, you know, where she would ask me a question in triplicate. Do we pay this bill? What's this adjustment? What's this? How much? You know, and all that. And I would have to do the research and answer it all and pull off my part, send hers back, and tell AP what to pay. I mean, you know. Oh, I have to tell you this too. When I started as a 90-day appointment, I saw my first fax sheet. Now that's old. I mean, I had never heard of them. And I also got the job. It was at a time when we really needed it. And I said, what now, Lord? And in 2 hours, I had a phone call from my best friend who was married to George Christenberry, who was over telecommunications. He called her and said, do you think Nancy would want this job? Because he knew I wanted a job. And he said, now there are no promises. She can only work 90 days. Back then, you worked 90 days, and then you had to leave. You could not stay in the same agency. You could go work 90 somewhere else, but you couldn't stay in the same agency. And he said, there are no promises about that. So I said, sure. So I took a secretarial position. You know, I've never been a secretary. I was a business manager major for two quarters, and that was it. So, but I was, I'd been a teacher, and I hadn't taught, in a long time. So I said, I can do that. So the Lord actually put me next to somebody who taught me everything. I worked for a deputy director. And she and I had the same birthday, July 4th. Yeah, same birthday. So I did that, and I worked for the Farmers Market Bulletin because I was waiting for a permanent position. And I got it, working for the only man in telecommunications that I didn't know. I knew everybody else. But as I said, Linda had been my best friend. I knew George worked for telecommunications. Y'all, I didn't know what telecommunications meant. I didn't, and that's when I came to work. I just took the job. So, but talking about things moving along is when we paid a bill, we had boxes of paper. And the Atlanta bill was, six boxes of, huge boxes of paper that we had to go through and pay. Yeah. Yeah. But when I started working permanently, there were only 300 telephone bills for the whole state. But I had I got in on the bottom level because that was the year that we cut over to the network. The state network cut over September 4th, 1987, and that's when I was doing the 90 days. I didn't have to work the weekend. All of you all would have had to work the whole weekend for that, but I didn't have to because I was temporary. So, yeah, she was there. So, we just don't realize that in this 28 years seems like a long time. It's really not. But how far we've come in 28 years is amazing. So, we don't even use a fax machine very much anymore, do we? So, I'm just thankful that I got to do it, that I was put where I've been put. There were times when I applied for other positions and I didn't get them. But guess what? Those positions were eliminated later. So, thankfully, I didn't get those positions. I have had great managers. I've learned from everyone. Joyce taught me everything, And then Joe, has been so patient and compassionate and going through all of the personal things I've gone through. And with my mother and all those things, he was always there. So I couldn't have asked for it. And we have great leadership. I had to do an exit interview yesterday, and they say it's very confidential. They don't even tell the results of those for a year, mostly. But I didn't have anything bad to say. So I just want to tell you, Joe, I was very complimentary of our leadership. So we do have good leadership, all of it. So I'm sure there are other things. I have family support. I've got great kids, great grandchildren, and been very blessed. And a husband of almost 42 years. So you can't mock that. So I'm really glad to have been married happily to a great man. So thank you again for coming. I really appreciate it.
Though the winds of change are blowing, sometimes it seems that all good things must come to an end. We all knew this day was coming, but you know it's just not easy to say goodbye to a friend. This place will never be the same without you in it. No one to tell us like it is and like it isn't the way you do. And seasons change, the years go by, and lives we share, and now the time has come to say goodbye, my friend. What will we do without the Queen? It's been good, but now the time has come to say goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, you run a real tight ship. You're a mover and a shaker, and that you care shows right on through. You are loved and respected with hearts of admiration. We want you to know we don't want you to go. This place will never be the same without you in it. No one to tell us like it is and like it isn't the way you do. And seasons change, the years go by, and lives we share, and now the time has come to say goodbye, my friend. What will we do without the Queen? It's been so good, but now the time has come to say goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. We know you really won't be that far away, but we'll be missing you. No one can replace. There she goes, and seasons change, the years go by, and lives we share, and now the time has come to say goodbye, my friend. What will we do without you, Queen? It's been so good, but now the time has come. We don't want to say goodbye, my friend. We don't want to say goodbye.